everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. Today I have for you my alternate card club. So my card club this month, let me show you what they're gonna get. If you're unfamiliar with my card club, it is a subscription service. So you sign up through PayPal subscriptions. You don't have to have a PayPal account. You just sign up and then they host it. So you just pay however you would pay for any other thing that gets auto billed to you. And so then once a month it bills you. It's the lowest price thing that I have where you get things mailed to you because it's nearly all product and then I have to pay for shipping and fees. But it's straight up every month you get it. Each month it's a little bit different. It tends to be that you get a full spool of ribbon, a full package of embellishments, and then half of some kind of package of cardstock. And then we make 6 projects, 3 designs, so you do 2 of each. And it's $38. You can get, I'll tell you some of the other stuff. Let me show you what they're getting this month. So this month, it's a little bit different. Like I said, they are getting the craft note cards and envelopes. And this comes with the super cool box. So it's a fun way either for you to store your own cards, or this time of year, if you're starting to think of gifts for your neighbors, or if you do handmade gifts for teachers, or just anybody that you want to give a gift to, this time the cards and the envelopes, I don't have to cut them and you'll get a ton of envelopes. So you'll have this whole box full. And then they are getting a full packet of the iridescent pearls and a full spool of the frayed ribbon. And then as a bonus this month, just because I knew that I wanted to do this, so I've been stacking up on it, they're getting an assortment of the Celebration Ringed with Nature paper. So that is the basic of Card Club this time. And then each month they can add on the stamp set. So this month, the one I'm using is Ringed with Nature. And if you have a die cut machine, you can add on the bundle. If you don't, you can just add on the stamps. I pay shipping and handling and tax for you. So catalog price, and that's a perk of being in the club. But then I fully realized that not every stamp set does it. And every time I say that, it makes me smile because I don't love every stamp set, but I never tell you guys. And sometimes the ones that are not my favorite set, not necessarily for club. In club, I tend to like them all. But sometimes I pick one and I just do a video because I realize there's a vast world of tastes out there. And I'm like, oh, this one's really hard. I don't really like it. And then it ends up being like one of your favorites. So, you know, there's something different for everybody. And since I know that, every month I like to give them some alternates. And then I will also mix and match them around. Because the note cards and envelopes, this little packet of stuff here that they're getting this month goes with last month's stamp set really well, the soft seedlings. And I was tempted to do it for my alternate, but once a month we once a quarter we Zoom together. And so in September when I call them mashups, where I take everything that they've gotten over the last 3 months and I mix it all up. I want to save the soft seedlings and this for them to see. So I went with something else. So I am going to show you, if you watched this video, this is their first project. The other 2, they will get in video form when I mail the project. So this is it. So I am assuming that whoever, that some people won't like the stamp set. So I'm going to take the exact same supplies, and then I went with True Beauty, which is in the annual catalog. The colors are so not these colors that you might not even recognize which stamp set it is by the time that we're done with it. So let's do this card, and then we would use these supplies. So because this month is a little bit different with these 2 supplies, they will have the note card and the envelope in their packet. And then there was a half a sheet of the vanilla. This is what's left from that. And then plus a little bit because I was trying something else. And then they will get 2 of these. So I've already used one on here. And then you can see my ribbon and my pearls. And I'm going to use the exact same colors of ink. And we're just going to redo this card with a whole new stamp set. Because you don't have to use, and you guys are all creative. You all can do it. Here's how the note cards and envelopes come. They are a little bit smaller than card size, but they are note cards. Where did I put my bone folder? I just had it. So a lot of times the things that are pre-scored, they do need a little help to lay flat. So I'm just going to do that so that way it will lay flat. And then I have my envelope because I'm going to stamp it. Let's just lay this right here so you can see what I'm doing. So we'll do the card on this first, and then we'll do the cutouts. I stamped my words in soft suede. So we have that. And I think that's the only time I used the suede. Now on this one, you can see I didn't stamp the card itself, but this one has such pretty flowers in it that I thought I might as well stamp it. So this is where we're going to deviate just a little bit. And the fun thing about this is pick a floral. Really what you need if you're going to try to use another stamp set in this for the techniques that I'll use, because you want to keep them similar stamp styles, right? Like the Ringed with Nature are full images. It's not coloring in. So that's what you want to pick, is a floral set that is full. So this is Petal Pink. Now when you stamp off on this, you just want to make sure that if you go off the edge, it only has half the ink. Here, I'll show you here. It has a line there. So every time then you need to re-ink. And you can see I just re-inked my Petal Pink. It was very pale. Put that there. And then if you remember where you stamped off, you can blow the ink off, get it a little bit lighter, and just kind of fill up that background. So there's our Petal Pink. And then let's do our Poppy Parade, and I'm using the exact same colors. Oh, and you know what? I was supposed to be stamping my envelope at the same time. So the envelope's really easy. Just like I did just the flap with the paper, this time I'm just gonna stamp the flap. I'm gonna leave the rest of it plain except for one little fun thing down here in the corner. Now I'm done with that. But we're gonna have to go back to it in a second. This is one of those cards to try to let you see everything that's going on. I can't stamp everything at one time. Now Poppy Parade and the larger flower. Actually, this card is so pretty when you are done that it was almost too hard for me to put the picture on the top, and you'll see what I mean in just a second when we get it all finished here. Okay, now I'm gonna stamp with this little corner here, which means this part right here on the Poppy you can really see. If you stamp this is gonna be lighter because it's already had ink. So just use the parts that weren't stamped yet. Let's get one here. And then we'll just get those. I'll come over and just get some little bits here. That looks good. Now for this, because this flower is big and I want to keep it on just the flap, I'm going to just lay my scrap paper right up to the fold, and then that way when I stamp on here, it will stay just on. So you can see it mostly stayed on the envelope, but now it doesn't go onto the flap. So that's a real simple technique of masking. So we're done with the Poppy. It's very dirty. Now let's go to our Evergreen. Again, these are the exact same colors that I used the other day when I made the Ringed with Nature card. So get some leaves there. Oops. Well, a little bit of that's going to peek over. I thought I had that angle when I'm showing you guys and trying to see myself. Let's back over to this one. See, isn't that pretty? It's so pretty. And the colors in the catalog are like the blues and the pinks, and it's really pastel-y. This doesn't look anything like when you stamp on the craft with these colors what the sample is in the catalog. Let's get a little bit more. And then we'll get right here to kind of go over. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky when you stamp on a fold. And then I used gray, which you may not remember. I have smoky slate on the card because I was trying to match the paper, and the paper had shades of evergreen and I didn't have shades of evergreen. So I just added some smoky slate because it was a very similar look. And with this, I'm gonna keep it nice and light. I'm not gonna push super hard, and I'm just gonna kind of fill in any place where it looks like there's a little bit of something, where it could use a something something. Isn't that pretty? So if you want just stop there because it's a really pretty card. And my friend Tanya always stamps the back of her card, so I call this the Tanya technique because it doesn't take any longer to fill that in. Look at this. And how pretty are these? You could just do this and then grab one of your sentiment sets that has sympathy and birthday and retirement and just kind of fill them all in. Do maybe a third of your box in these colors and then switch it to some blues or some purples and kind of switch it around and play with it. It'd be so much fun and a really, really quick, super gift. These are the note cards and envelopes are part of this week's weekly special from Stampin' Up. So if you purchase them, I don't even know what, you know, they throw Labor Day. I don't know what season it is. Don't know what day it is. I think it's Tuesday. The specials end on Wednesday. And then new ones will start on Thursday. So to do whatever this is, like the same little concept, because we have a half a sheet of white, I'm going to take this stamp here, just still out of the same stamp set. And I didn't even use all the stamps. There were more letters and one more flower that I didn't even use. And then, of course, a couple of sentiments and then a stem that I didn't use. So I'm going to ink this whole thing in my petal pink, just like that. Then I'm going to take my Sponge Dauber and my Poppy Parade. And I'm just going to kind of dab the ends of my flowers. Give them a little bit of shading. Because in my mind, I did this first and I was like, oh, that's beautiful. This is so beautiful. And then I stamped to the back of the card and I'm like, oh, the back of the card adds beautiful, if maybe not more so than what's supposed to be my focal point. So again, pretty card. You don't even have to finish. You don't have to do this step and you could be done. So I've got that. And then let's take my evergreen and another Sponge Dauber. And we will try to fill in here where the stem is. Now you're working with a base of petal pink, so it's going to change the colors just a little bit where the green's going on, and it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going for an artistic look. So whenever it's not perfect, just tell yourself it's because you're an artist. You don't always do things perfectly. So we've got that. Now, when you've done this, it always helps to blow some hot air on it. Back in the day, we always called it huffing. And that just remoistens anything that may have dried. Isn't that pretty? So see, I did this first the last time. I was like, oh, that's beautiful. And then I did my card and I was like, well, that's pretty beautiful too there. So there's two different options now. If you buy the bundle, if you have the bundle, then you would have the die to cut this out. Or you can do like we did. This one doesn't have a die to cut the poinsettia out. So I just had to cut it out. But I do have the die. So hang on, I'm going to cut that out. All right, so this is cut out, laying at my die cut machine. I haven't even had a chance yet to use these on for you all to see. If you are getting my VIP video this month, we're using these spruced up dies. They're so much fun. So if you purchase from me, every month you make a purchase from me online or at one of my in-person events, then the following month you get a VIP project. And I do the video just for them to see. And then they get the supplies in the mail with their thank you gift that they can follow along. But look how cute these would be. Just not with these flowers, but you could do just a strip of paper. You could take just, oh, I'm giving you lots of ideas. I know one of these has, yes, this one. Look, you could just put this with a tree, not in vanilla, but you could do vanilla and some of the other stamps that come with the spruced up stamp set. But these are so fun, these dies, and I can't wait till I have time to show you how to use them. But that time's not yet. I've been so busy. Sometimes I'm like, do we always have to be so busy? But apparently so. So on this one, you remember I frayed the ribbon apart. I tried a few different kinds of ribbon. With this one, the first one was I just laid it on here. But I was losing so much of what I had fallen in love with on this card. So instead, I just took this ribbon. So this is the other half. You can see this is the frayed ribbon. I cut it in half. So the other half's on my card I've already made. And then you're just going to pull some of these out. So I probably want a little bit more than that. So just lay those there and pull some more out. That looks good. So instead of a big bulky ribbon on my tiny little flower card, now I have some much lighter area ribbon. The bulky ribbon would actually work on this one. I was just trying to show you something else you could do with your ribbon. So now I'm going to take this on here. I would love to be able to tie a bow, but I didn't even attempt it. It would look gorgeous, but I'm like, this is a lot of ribbon and I'm not even fully aware of what day of the week it is. So let's just go for a knot because it still looks pretty. So by having a lot, then anything that doesn't stick, because it's not hard because I'm just literally tying a knot. But you know, when you have all these little strings, sometimes you don't grab them all. But if you do a lot, then and you have to cut off one or two, you'll still have tons. I mean, you don't want to pull it so tight that it bends your paper, but definitely give it a snug little pull so it doesn't fall off of your card. And then just trim these off. I have at least 8 pairs of these scissors, and one by one they all walk off. My daughter was here over the weekend. She won't watch this, so I can talk about her. And I noticed that downstairs, she's carried like 3 pairs downstairs. So it always ends up that when I get one left, it's this one with the cord, and they don't cut very well. They need to be sharpened. My husband sharpens them. It's just finding the time. So now that looks a little bit better, and I think this kind of softens it with what's going on in the background. But again, you could just put this on a plain card, which I don't here. You could just put this on here if you're making a box full. So now you have 2 ideas. Put some words over here, put some words on this one, and you've got 2 totally different cards from the same stamp set and the same supplies. But also in club, they get anything that needs to be die cut that goes on our club projects, then they get it pre-die cut. So this is the distressed gold. And I ran it through one of the Rings of Nature dies. I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive. Lay this through here. A little bit of adhesive on the back of this guy. It's pretty delicate, so be careful. I find it's best to kind of lay it on here and then smash it and just pull it, and then that pulls off enough to hold it. And then again, their embellishments that y'all get this month are the iridescent pearls. If you're not in Card Club and you want to be in Card Club, you have every month until the 10th. And once you've signed up, you don't have to do it again. I have a Card Club link on my website. It's up at the top. So if you just click that little link up there, it takes you to every month where then they can add their alternate sets or where you can sign up and join the club. If you're going on vacation or something and you want to pause it, you can always pause it, or I can pause it for you as well. But if you're in it for 6 consecutive months, then on the 7th following, or like, so it'd be the 7th or the 14th, they get a thank you gift, loyalty gift valued at about $25, full of some fun products and some other things that I order for them. So here is this. How pretty is that? And completely different. My other one looks almost the same. I went the other direction. So we have 2 different cards, the exact same supplies. So if Rained with Nature isn't your thing, then I know that there's some solid floral in the catalog that's going to be your thing. And it's so pretty. They're both really pretty. And they could both go in the, you don't have to have the same set on all 20 cards that you're going to put in a note gift box if you're going to give it to somebody, because they like to have variety. So this is this would be a pretty wedding or shower card. Obviously this one's a Christmas. So that's what I have for you. And again, if you have any club questions, just go to my website, or if you're on my email list, then until the 10th, you'll get a couple of reminders about club. Everybody have a great one. Bye.